Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, Keith.
No, it's not how we do this.
What do you mean it's not how we do this?
It's not how we do this.
You're right. How dare I? Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step Hens.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk? Yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No, I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to party! Hello, and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, T to the J, Stevens. Joining me as always, what'd you say?
Step Hens.
Say it louder. Dollar Bill Dave.
Step Hens.
Thank you.
Dave.
And Timmy C.
Who?
Dollar Bill Dave, fresh off his dinner date and stand-up date with Matt Cassio last night.
How was the live show last night?
His new friends is what
we found out there used to be an NWA World Midgets Championship. We went through the entire lineage of it.
It was awesome.
Nice.
Fun
and
fact,
Rey Mysterio was the last champion, I'm pretty sure.
He was not. But the first champion was Sky Low in 1949. And he was at WrestleMania 3. Also,
did you say
1987?
Did you say 1939?
1949.
38 years later, he was at WrestleMania.
And then
he must be like a billionaire with all the money he made wrestling.
That's absolutely true. We also found out Lord Littlebrook, 59 years old in 1988, and had like a 28-minute match in France.
He was a little short on money.
Good job. Well done.
Nice.
Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcast. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at FF Podcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Podcast. Follow our Patreon network on Twitter at Filter Free Net, and of course, Premier Streaming Network on YouTube at, well, I guess it's the Premier Streaming Network on Twitter. They're at Watch on Premier. We have a poll up right now on our Twitter. What show we're going to do a watch along for the month of March? And right now, WrestleMania 12, walking away with it.
Great.
Not watching it.
1 hour.
Bret Hart.
1 hour of Bret Hart being a douchebag.
But Timmy, if they go to www.patreon.com/filterfree, they will get to know why I now know the lineage of the NWA World Midgets Championship. What else will they get?
Well, you will get Legends. Let's rethink this. Footballers getting paid with Tim and Dave coming back in the fall. Evolution of Evil. Wrestling with commercials, which Dave and I need to put one of those in the can soon. Plus, the watch along we did last night. I think we're going to do more fun stuff like that.
Primetime 88.
And our list of bus rides and events.
We've already got one in the books this year.
I think we're going to Iowa.
Iowa.
Sounds like a goddamn nightmare.
Fun capital of the planet.
Y'all have fun. I'll be on vacation.
You're a douche. Where are you going?
Well, you went last time, so it's our turn, I guess. Dave gets to go to Tampa. We go to fucking Iowa.
Where are you going for vacation?
I don't know. We have like 9 of them planned.
Just so I can hate my life a little bit more.
I'll send lots of pictures.
Thank you. Although I will be going, I'm 2 weeks away from going to Germany right now, so I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, it's work related, so it's probably going to be.
Are you becoming a Nazi?
I think if you say that word in Germany, you will get shanked.
Or made mayor. Who knows?
Do they have a mayor
of the entire country? I doubt it.
Yeah,
it's Mayor McCheese.
Isn't it like a chancellor or something like that?
Adam West.
No, that's Batman.
And it's Family Guy also. Not a lot happened this week. Nobody murdered their wives.
I think John Cena started an OnlyFans.
John Cena did start an OnlyFans, and Randy Orton wants to collab, yo.
I bet Justin's in on that.
He already paid for it. He told me.
He already paid. He's like,
and he's
first
with us
member?
on Instagram. He's with us on Instagram. Justin, did you subscribe to John Cena's OnlyFans already? And will we be able to hear you from your home if he collabs with Randy Orton?
goo.
What do you say? Are we ready to dive back into yesteryear?
Jen's gonna go look at his OnlyFans.
Of course she is.
Justin just said he's his first subscriber.
Of course he is. Got a bunch of hooters here in the chat.
Timmy, are you ready?
I guess.
Because this week we're going back to February 23rd, 1997, when I made my first OnlyFans. And coincidentally, it's also WCW Superbrawl 7 from Alcatraz. Well, Alcatraz was involved. It wasn't at Alcatraz. That would have been weird. However, before we get to that,
kind of hard to get to.
Yeah, boat. Everyone had to be on there, get on by boat. Let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. Let's run through some events. Filter free up first. Timmy, drop that beat. It always gets me in the mood for news from yesterday. Stories that missed the cut. February 1st, Boston Bruins legend Ray Bourque becomes the franchise's all-time leading scorer with a goal and an assist.
That's not a lot of points.
Well, it was more
1-1. What'd you get? I got 1-1. All-time
that
franchise leader.
And it's pronounced Bourque.
That was not his first career start.
I thought it was Bourque.
Bourquois. February 2nd, the AFC beats the NFC in the Pro Bowl 26-23 in overtime. Your MVP. How about this for? I didn't see that coming. Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Mark Brunell.
You skipped a story.
I did? Oh, yeah. There's a reason for that. February 1st, Hall of Fame catcher and world-renowned douchebag Johnny Bench marries Elizabeth Benton.
It's been a long-standing rumor back home that she may have been his beard, oddly enough.
Or he had like 5 beards then.
Yeah. Well, maybe when they found out. Do you know what a beard is, TJ?
Saying he's LBGTQ. What's the A? LBGTQ.
What's next?
Plus.
A.
Plus. Don't forget the plus.
February 2nd, Paula Abdul marries Brad Beckerman.
Divorced 17 months later.
Good job, you. That's the theme for this month. There's more on that later. February 4th, Mario Lemieux becomes the 7th player in NHL history to score 600 goals.
God damn, I sucker!
Oh,
That's 600 more than Bourque.
Well, yes. Well, technically it'd be 599.
Oh.
February 4th, O.J. Simpson is found liable in the deaths of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown in civil court. No shit.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely a
but if he did want to do it, he would have done it like this.
And here's an entire book on it.
Yeah.
Not him.
Definitely
February
allegedly a murderer.
Brooke Lee of Hawaii is crowned Miss USA. She would go on to win Miss Universe.
Dave, look her up.
I'm doing it. On it.
While he's looking her up. February 9th, the East beats the West in the NBA All-Star Game 132-120 in Cleveland. Your MVP is Charlotte Hornets forward Glenn Rice.
It's a low-scoring game considering they scored like 400 points this year.
And the All-Star Game is so dumb now.
No fucking defense. Are you kidding me?
Do they just stand on one end of the court and just wait?
It's the world's longest game of horse, is what it is.
I would watch that. I mean, that's the world's longest game of horse, but I would watch horse.
That's it's the world's shortest game of whores.
Meh.
Meh.
February 16th, Hendrick Racing finishes 1, 2, and 3 at the Daytona 500 as Jeff Gordon wins. Terry Labonte finished second, and Ricky Craven finishes third.
At least we don't have to do NASCAR trivia this week.
Oh, we are. We're just not doing winners.
Yeah.
February 17th, The Weekly Standard, a political magazine, publishes evidence that Penthouse owner Larry Flint sexually abused his daughter
with a wheelchair.
Like,
what?
Did he hit her with the wheelchair? Or was he
drive the wheelchair up her asshole or what?
He gave her Rolaids.
I don't know what to do with that right now. I don't know how to respond. I don't know how to react. Drink a beer for the working man. It's going to move on. February 20th. Barry Bonds signed a 2-year, $22.9 million contract with the San Francisco Giants.
Cheap. Super cheap.
And
Yeah.
steroids.
And steroids.
February
Definitely,
22nd.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly. Definitely. February 22nd, Dolly the sheep becomes the world's first cloned mammal.
She have big tits.
The sheep.
It's Dolly.
Big teats.
You know, that would have been true to form if they would have done that.
Just put implants on the cloned mammal. You ever seen a sheep with tits?
I just noticed we're streaming to Pond Water Dave's show, so I'll go ahead and take that off.
We apologize.
Whoops. Pond Water Dave's usually such a nice guy. I don't know what happened. February 22nd.
Why are these guys
Lopez.
cussing?
Jennifer Lopez marries Ojani Noah. They divorced 1 year later.
What was that name?
Ojani Noah.
Okay.
No relation to Joaquin. Or
It's a
Trevor.
weird way to
Joaquin
spell
Phoenix?
Alex Rodriguez.
Joaquin Noah, Chicago Bulls legend.
It's Joakim
Joe
Noah.
Kim.
Joakim.
Moron. This isn't a hockey pronunciation.
It is. February 23rd, NBC airs Schindler's List unedited, and a whopping 65 million people tune in to watch it.
Never seen it.
You never seen Schindler's List?
No.
Nope.
I could imagine the balls. Well, you need to, otherwise, because without that, the context, the story makes no sense.
You should watch it while you're in Germany.
The ball. I wouldn't do that. The balls of NBC to air this movie uncensored and unedited is bananas to me. Not to mention it's like 3 hours long. Here's your Saturday. We're gonna watch Schindler's List.
3 hours. That's not a whole.
Well, if they
Gone
have
with the
commercials,
Wind.
it's 5 hours and 6 minutes.
It didn't say whether or not it had commercials. I don't know that. I would imagine.
Of course it did. 65 million people watched.
It's true. Stories in the wheelhouse. February 3rd, Cornell University holds a memorial service for world-renowned astronomer Carl Sagan. This may seem like an odd topic for us to cover on this show, but Carl Sagan is personally responsible for the education of children and an inspiration for multiple generations of people who want to explore the stars. He was born on November 9th, 1934 in New York to a mother who was a housewife and a father who was a Ukrainian immigrant and a worker at a garment factory. After a
He
modest
made lingerie.
he made in 38.
It was a burlap sack at that point.
Here's your pantsuit. That's hot. After
Literally, if you put it on, it's hot.
It's made of wool. After a modest upbringing, Sagan would graduate high school and head off to the University of Chicago because at the time, despite his phenomenal mental exploits, University of Chicago was one of the only few colleges that accepted 16-year-old students. I forgot to mention he was only 16. In 1958, Sagan
He was 22, but they accepted 16-year-olds.
Yeah. In 1958, Sagan was assigned to a government project known as Project A119, a project headed up by the U.S. Air Force. What's up? In which the effects of dropping a detonated nuclear device on the moon could potentially change its natural working environment.
Nerds.
If this sounds bizarre, they're actually considering doing this to Mars. And if you'd like me to explain to you the aftermath and what is expected to be, ask me and I'll tell you. It's
Flying saucers.
Rather fascinating.
Is there cheese on the moon?
I don't know if there's on Mars, though.
It's green cheese.
That cheese with the red shell on it.
Sagan played a leading role in the American space program since its inception. He was a consultant and advisor to NASA beginning in the 1950s. He briefed the Apollo astronauts before their flights to the moon and was an experimenter on the Mariner, Viking, Voyager, Galileo expeditions to the planets.
Smart guy.
Sagan also helped solve the mysteries of the high temperatures of Venus, the seasonal changes on Mars, and the reddish haze of Titan.
I have a question. I could solve the mystery of the high temperature on Venus. It's close to the sun. Genius. What a genius this man was.
Where were you in the 60s and 70s?
Right? I got a ruler.
For his work, Dr. Sagan received the NASA medals for exceptional scientific achievement and for distinguished public service twice. as well as a NASA Apollo Achievement Award. I bet this
Okay.
guy was a huge, boring dork.
Well, do you want to know when he wasn't boring?
Hmm.
When he was using the devil's lettuce.
Ooh.
Sagan was a user and advocate of the devil's lettuce under the pseudonym Mr. X. He contributed an essay, because that's what nerds do, about smoking cannabis in the 1971 book Marijuana Reconsidered.
He was
Not with a
also
J.
a world-
It's got an H in it. Weird.
He was also a world champion in AWA as Mr. X. I don't know if anyone knew that.
I don't think so. I don't think he
Is that a
was.
different guy?
And he led the X-Men.
Yes. That he was a professor.
Same thing.
That was when he retired from being a wrestler. The essay explained that marijuana use had helped inspire some of Sagan's works and enhance sensual and intellectual experiences.
Oh, this guy
I believe
Here we go. I
he
got
was
it.
in on
I
the
got it.
intellectual, probably very little on the sensual.
I got it. Bro.
Venus is hot.
The sun, man. It's the sun.
You know Sagan was a beast in the bed when he was high.
No, he wasn't. Have you seen
If
him?
you spread your legs at a 60-degree angular perpendicular theatrical dimension, I will be able to interest you with my penis.
I'll show her my perpendicular. After Sagan's death, his friend Lester Grinspoon, because that's the kind of friend he would have, disclosed this information to Sagan's biographer, Key Davidson. The publishing of the biography, Carl Sagan, A Life, which, great name for a book, Carl Sagan, A Life, as opposed to Carl Sagan, a nerd.
death.
In 1999, brought media attention to this aspect of Sagan's life. Took till 99. Crazy. Not long after his death, his widow, widow.
Last name's not Sagan?
Nope.
Whore.
Went on to preside over the board of directors of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, or their pseudonym, Normal. A nonprofit organization dedicated to reforming cannabis laws. It worked.
Still federally illegal. They're not doing much there.
Incorrect. They're doing a lot in the States.
It's federally illegal.
While Sagan was widely adored by the general public, his reputation in the scientific community was more polarized. Critics sometimes characterized his work as fanciful, non-rigorous, because he was lazy apparently, and self-aggrandizing.
Well, he was always high.
And others complained in his later years he neglected his role as a faculty member as Professor X to foster his celebrity status, also as Professor X.
It's hard to contribute where you're just in the corner looking at a chair giggling the entire time.
Venus, man.
It's hot.
Rhymes with penis. And it's hot.
Did you just go Bill Cosby there? It rhymes with penis pudding.
Because you see, the kids.
Sagan was accused of borrowing some ideas, or as we call it, plagiarizing, for his own benefit, which why else would you do it? He countered these claims by explaining the misappropriation was an unfortunate side effect of his role as scientific communicator and explainer, which isn't even a word.
It's not.
This guy is not a genius. I am convinced. He's just high. And he attempted to give proper credit whenever possible. Compiler, just like Nolan Ryan.
That's stupid that you would say that.
Burn.
Let's do this one. Let's up the mood a little bit. February 9th, after airing its 167th episode, the famous Fox animated series The Simpsons becomes the longest running animated show in television history. The animated comedy that was the brainchild of animator and creator Matt Groening. The show is based around a family from a town called Springfield in the form of Lisa, Maggie, Bart, Homer, and Marge, The Simpsons. It debuted on December 17th, 1989. Well, on Fox. It actually debuted on the Tracy Ullman Show in like 87. And as of this podcast...
Stealing my shit.
Oh, did it? I'm sorry.
What are you going to tell us next? Venus is hot? Close to the
And
sun?
as of this podcast, Venus is hot. The show has aired 761 episodes over a now staggering 35 years on the air. The show, despite having dozens of characters, only has 6 main voices. Nancy Cartwright, Hank Azaria, Julie Kavner, Dan Castellaneta, Harry Shearer, and Yeardley Smith.
Yeardley. I love that name.
During its 35 years on the air, the show has won 34 primetime Emmys, so they only missed once, and has inspired other famous animated shows in the forms of Family Guy, South Park, and American Dad. In a 2-episode sequence on South Park entitled The Cartoon Wars, the show acknowledged that sometimes their show premises seem so far-fetched because it's hard to come out with show ideas that The Simpsons haven't already done.
It's been 35 years, of course.
Well, right. That was kind of their point. The Simpsons, who have never changed cast or lost its message somehow after all this time, show no signs of slowing down.
Lost its message. What is its message exactly?
It's funny. I don't know, bitch.
I caramba is its message.
Eat my shorts, dude.
The Simpsons was the first Fox Network's television series to rank among a season's top 30 highest rated shows. Remember when it started, Fox was dog ass.
How was Married with Children not the first, though?
In 1990, Bart quickly became one of the most popular characters on television in what was termed Bartmania. In the early 90s, millions of t-shirts featuring Bart were sold, with as many as 1 million being sold per day. Believing Bart to be a bad role model, several American public schools banned t-shirts featuring Bart next to the captions such as, "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" and "Underachiever and proud of it, man."
I had both of those.
I had the "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" and I had a Bartman shirt.
My school always let me wear it, though.
Detention.
The Simpsons merchandise sold well and generated $2 billion in revenue during its first 14 months of sales. That's crazy.
In like 1990?
In 90, that's like
holy shit.
Hundreds of dollars a day.
Bart was often the most promoted member of the Simpson family in advertisements for the show, even for episodes in which he was not involved in the main plot. Due to the show's success over the summer of 1990, the Fox network decided to switch the Simpsons time slot from 8 p.m. on Sunday night to the same time on Thursday, where it competed with The Cosby Show on NBC, the #1 show at the time.
Puddin' Pops.
Because you see, the kids are wearing the t-shirts and they're not eating the Jell-O pudding.
But the roofies they're eating. Don't worry.
Oh, boy.
Through the summer, several news outlets published stories about the supposed Bill versus Bart rivalry.
It was very one-sided. It was very one-sided.
He punched the shit out of that piece of paper.
Bart Gets an F was the first episode to air against The Cosby Show, and it received a lower Nielsen rating, tying for 8th behind The Cosby Show, which had an 18.5 rating.
Jesus.
18.5.
The rating is based on the number of household televisions that were turned into the show, but Nielsen Media Research estimated that 33.6 million viewers watched the episode, making it the #1 show in terms of actual viewers that week.
As opposed to supposed viewers that week.
Yeah.
At the time, it was the most watched episode in the history of the Fox network and is still the highest rated episode in the history of The Simpsons. The show moved back to its Sunday slot in 1994 and has remained there ever since.
Let's do a little fun facts with this.
I like it.
The main characters were given yellow coloring to attract the attention of channel hoppers. Okay.
Yellow is the first color you see.
Homer's email address has been stolen by Dave's new friend, Matt Cassio. ChunkyLover53 at AOL.com.
I thought his was Candy Licker 53.
Yeah, he's the candy licker.
So he's also a chunky lover.
The phenomenal lover.
What?
What?
Dr. Nick is named after George Dr. Nicopolis, whatever, who was charged after Elvis Presley's death for prescribing thousands of doses of narcotics to cater to Elvis's massive appetite for prescription drugs.
Scott. You damn right it was, Scott.
But Elvis is still alive and he's a pastor now, just so y'all know.
What?
Elvis would be almost 100 now, dude.
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, he's like 80. Look it up. TikTok.
I am. You
TikTok.
stupid bitch. I'm looking it up right now.
Just search Elvis Presley pastor.
Well, I'm a little busy to be looking at TikTok. I'm just going to look up Elvis's age. I don't
He
want
was born in 1935, so he'd be 88.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's a
Elizabeth
pastor.
Taylor, Susan Sarandon, Alec Baldwin, Mark Hamill, Steve Buscemi, John Lovitz, James Caan, George Takei, Ricky Gervais, Simon Cowell, and Joe Mantegna are the only guest actors to play both themselves and a fictional character on the series. They really enjoyed it.
Bret Hart played himself.
Bret Hart's a whore.
He played a no-talent ass clown? Okay.
I like to actually show him in the episode in his gear. That was my favorite part.
Well, he demanded that because
Oh,
they
did he?
wanted
That
people
makes sense.
to
That makes
know
sense.
he's a wrestler. Lionel Hutz says he got his law degree from Princeton. Although most Ivy League schools offer a law degree, Princeton does not, which helps confirm that he is a phony.
That's fun.
Just like Bret Hart.
Oh.
The Itchy and Scratchy cartoons are animated shorts, which are part of the Krusty the Clown show. In a way, these cartoons are analogous to this show, as they all originally started as 30-second animated shorts and were part of the Tracy Ullman show.
Very good. Did you guys ever watch the Tracy Ullman show when it was on HBO?
No.
I was like,
I was
five.
poor. I was poor.
Poor.
I didn't have HBO.
We had
Dave goes,
HBO, but I was
5.
5.
Dave goes, I was 5. Timmy goes, I was poor.
I had to watch it through the wavy lines.
Those were the days. Well, this definitely you can watch this on national television. February 11th, one of the greatest coaching legends of the gridiron, former Super Bowl winning coach with the New York Giants, Bill Parcells, heads back to the Big Apple after a stint with the Patriots, but this time it's to coach the New York Jets. What a massive mistake that was. Bill Parcells is in the Hall of Fame. He's won 172 NFL games. He won 11-8 in the playoffs. He won 2 Super Bowls, one with backup quarterback Jeff Hostetler, Florida State. Parcells actually
Florida State Seminole legend, Bill Parcells.
Well, I know. I think Jeff Hostetler is.
I'm saying, well, he's from West Virginia, but I'm saying they won a Super Bowl with his backup quarterback is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But Bill Parcells coached at Florida State.
There you go. And
that's what happens when you get in the playoffs with a backup quarterback.
You win that shit.
Parcells actually spent his first 14 seasons coaching in the collegiate ranks, starting at Hastings in 1964. He was also the defensive coordinator of Army in 1968 and the head coach for the Air Force Academy in 1978. So he's over with me. His first gig in the NFL was ironically with the New York Patriots. Look at me being a dummy. The New England Patriots in 1980 as a linebackers coach. Parcells took the helm of the New York Giants in 1983 after the team had experienced one winning season out of the last 10. Parcells' start wasn't the greatest as he went 3-12-1 and was almost bumped out for Howard Schnellenberger. The only reason why thank you. The only reason why Parcells stayed is because Schnellenberger declined.
It
worked out for the best, I'd say.
In 1979, Parcells accepted an offer to become the defensive coordinator of the New York Giants under head coach Ray Perkins. But before the season started, he resigned and took a job with a land development company in Colorado. While living in Colorado, Parcells became a season ticket holder with the Denver Broncos. Parcells called it the most miserable year of his life.
That checks out. I also would want to watch the Broncos from in 1980.
No. Feeling dissatisfied with his life away from football, Parcells returned to the sport in 1980 as the linebackers coach of the New England Patriots. The following season, Parcells was approached once again by Perkins to join the Giants staff as an assistant coach. Parcells accepted the offer. As defensive coordinator and linebackers coach, he was allowed to change the team's 4-3 defense to a 3-4 system. When Perkins announced on December 15th, 1982, that he was leaving the Giants at the end of the season to become the head coach and athletic director at the University of Alabama, the Giants announced that Parcells would succeed him as head coach. When Parcells took over in 1983, the team had posted just one winning season the previous 10 years, as TJ said earlier. What a shit franchise.
And they used to be like the hallmark of the league, and now they're the shits.
In his first year, he made a controversial decision to bench Phil Simms in favor of Scott Brunner due to Brunner's success in leading the Giants to the 1981 postseason.
It's Bruner.
Never heard of him.
It's Bruner.
That's what I said.
He's my
Brunner.
cousin.
He's your cousin.
Also, Simms had missed the entire 1982 season in addition to the latter part of 1981. Bruner struggled, and Parcells went back to Simms in week 6, but Simms broke his thumb and missed the rest of the season. He sucks. After this dismal first season, Parcells finally had a healthy Simms as starter again in 1984. The team's record improved to 9-7 and 10-6 over the next 2 years and earned them their first back-to-back playoff appearances since 1961 to 63. In 1986, he led the Giants to the first of 2 Super Bowls. In the 86 seasons, the Giants compiled a franchise-best 14-2 record and the first of 3 division titles. Parcells, whose stifling 3-4 defense, known as the Big Blue Wrecking Crew, led by Lawrence Taylor, Carl Banks, Harry Carson, and Leonard Marshall, and an offense under the direction of Phil Simms, knocked off the San Francisco 49ers 49-3, then the Washington Redskins 17-0, before routing the Denver Broncos 39-20 in Super Bowl 21.
He was a good dancer, too. Carlton Banks.
Parcells is credited as the first coach to be doused with Gatorade at the end of a Super Bowl, which led to a Super Bowl tradition. While there are some claims that Chicago Bears loser coach Mike Ditka had been doused a year earlier, NFL Films president Steve Sabol has stated that he can find no evidence to support it in any footage he has reviewed, and that he believes the tradition started with Parcells and Jim Burt. Chicago trying to claim everything.
Ditka was not, I can tell you, he didn't get Gatorade bathed.
Thank you, Dave, for doing your best Carl Sagan impression with all that shit about Bill Parcells.
Florida State Seminole legend.
Fuck off. That some bitch retired from coaching 3 times. In 1999, expectations were high that the Jets would go to the Super Bowl. However, they're the Jets, and quarterback Vinny Testaverde ruptured his Achilles tendon in the Jets home opener, and the season went downhill from there. That sounds eerily familiar.
Bengals.
Speaking of his retiring, his wife retired from being married to him in June 2002. It is said their pairing was amicable, but I'm
parting, moron. They're pairing. What a goof. What are they making pairs?
Their pairing was over at that point. But their parting was amicable. I'm sure he was hanging out with Belichick outside some lady's house being caught on a ring cam at 5 a.m.
I just want you to know, you guys, I can't show the Instagram comments on here, but Andrew Hermes is, Timmy, he's lighting you up in the comments right now.
Nice.
Why? Because I'm so sexy?
The first one, he lit up Phil Simms. He goes, let's face it, the defense won those Super Bowls. Some guy named LT was pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
North Carolina
That's
Cardinal
not lighting
legend.
me up. I agree.
Next one. When you're as good as he was, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Something Cincy fans know nothing about.
Oh, burn.
You want some ointment for that burn, sir?
Hall of Famer Joe Burrow.
When? Which
Hall of Flamer?
5 years. 5 years after he retires, with like
Skinny Pants
22
Hall of
Super
Fame?
Bowls.
You know what it's time for? We talked about the big tuna. I think you guys know what's coming.
We're having fish.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Turn it and wild. With a great left.
Here it is. 8. Pressure with 3. Winston's going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Comes down to over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
You gotta like that, right? So I just noticed
football
in the Jordan Bird commercial, they say nothing but net for every shot. They hit the rim every time. I was not paying attention to that till just now.
Jordan didn't. It was nothing but net. That's why he won.
So. Let's go to NFL league leaders for.
Can we do NASCAR? Because my team didn't even have a football team in '97.
No, they did. You just said David Klingler. So right now, for the month of February, it is 11-5.
I'm winning.
Dave's in the lead. So we're gonna, Dave. You. If you would have been here for the watch along yesterday, we're gonna do this a little differently. We're going to do it the same way we do NASCAR.
Kicked your ass last night, just so you know.
He did, actually, that's not true. We did 4 categories, got none of them. So good on you. Let's start with Dave. We're going to start with passing yards leaders, 1997. And here's the rules. As long as you continue to get them right, At any given time, you can ask me for a lifeline. I will give you the remaining teams. Are you ready?
Timmy, you go first.
Timmy C, passing yards leaders 1997. How many can you name?
97. Or we're doing out of top 10?
Out of top 10. Two of these, there's no chance.
Four.
4. Dave, can you do more than 4?
Let's hear it. I'll bounce back with the 5th.
Passing yards leaders, right?
Passing yards.
Okay.
Here we go.
John Elway.
John Elway, 6th, 3,635.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon, 5th, 3,670. I will give you a point right now if you can name the team Warren Moon played for in 19.
Seattle.
The Minnesota.
It was Seattle. I'm not giving Dave the point because it was supposed to be for Timmy. Keep
Point.
going.
12-5, bitch.
He's a cheater.
12-5, bitch. Two more.
You have to remember, I had season tickets here, so I went to a lot of football.
To the Seahawks?
No, but
Vinny Testaverde.
No. Dave, if he got 2, if you name 3, you win the category.
Brett Favre.
2nd, 3,867.
Drew Bledsoe.
4th, 3,706. One more, and you win it. Again, you guys can't see it. Andrew Hermes just got one in the Instagram chat.
Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend, Florida State Seminole legend, Brad Johnson.
No.
No fucking way.
Minnesota.
Jeff George.
Here's the rest of your top 10. 10th of the St. Louis Rams, Tony Banks, 3,254.
Who?
9th, Pro Bowl MVP, Mark Brunell, the Jacksonville Jaguars, 3,281. 8th, Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys. 7th, Scott Mitchell of the Detroit Lions.
Troy
It'd be
Aikman.
weird if he were playing for the Tigers.
3rd, Dan Marino,
How did we
3,780.
miss Marino?
Because he
First
was
of the Oakland
42.
Raiders, Jeff George.
Jeff
Yeah, baby!
17. You're way
You don't
too
get
late.
the point, whore.
You don't. Not him. Let's go to.
I won the category. Dave didn't win it.
It was 2-2, stupid.
You had
What?
to get 3 to win the category.
Well,
Nobody-
you only
nobody
got
gets a point.
2.
Nobody gets a
And I
point.
yelled Jeff George later.
That doesn't count,
Doesn't
whore.
count.
Bonus points.
You guys are really missing the point here. Let's go to.
Show you the point.
Who?
Good.
Let's do. We're gonna do rushing touchdowns because this is solid. Rushing touchdowns 97. Dave, how many can you get?
5.
5.
Name that tune.
There you go.
You're going to help me, right?
With what? Again, you can if
He,
as long as
he-
you
he
continue,
was scoring every week, so yes.
as long as you continue to get them right, you can ask for a lifeline. I will give you the teams.
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis tied for first with 15.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What? Tied for first with 15.
He is eating his ass off.
How am I cheating? I literally saw him
He
play.
doesn't even play football.
NBA Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar tied for first.
If he guesses Lou Alcindor next, I'm gonna call bullshit.
Michael Jordan.
You got,
All right.
you got
Barry
3 left.
Sanders.
Barry Sanders tied for third with 11.
This is where it gets hairy.
Again, you have the same problem as Timmy. You guys go for the moon immediately on the.
I said 4.
Well, we did MLB. How many earned run
Okay.
ERA leaders can you name from 1980? 11. It's a top 10. Why are you picking so many?
Natron Means.
Natron Means 8th. With
San
9.
Diego Charger legend.
Here you go. Bonus point if you name the team.
It wasn't San Diego.
It was not.
You'd already had the bonus point if it was.
It's true.
'cause
Yeah,
You
you already
named
said
them.
He played for Jacksonville at one point. Was it Jacksonville?
Jacksonville Jaguars. Dave now has 12. You need one more and you win this category.
Are there any quarterbacks?
No, I
on
get the
list?
chance to name the 6th one.
No, you
Are
have
there
to name more
any-
than 5.
Are there any quarterbacks on the list?
There are.
Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart. Tied for 3rd with 11. There's
Slash.
5.
Slash.
Timmy, there are
4 left. 5
12
left.
people on this list, so you can still win this. You have to name 6.
Okay. Terrell Davis.
I already said that.
He said that, dummy.
Well, he's on the list. You didn't say I couldn't repeat.
New people. You have to guess
Oh.
new people on the list.
The bus.
Jerome Bettis.
Oh shit! I forgot about him.
No.
Oh,
I wish you'd have remembered him.
Dave gets the point. Again, neither one of you asked for Team J.
This
Here's the rest of
scoring
your
is
ti-
fucking horse shit.
I'm sorry, Dave is good and you're not. Here's the rest of here's the thing. I altered the rules and you're still losing. I don't know what else to do here. Here's the rest of your top 10. Tied for 9th. Quick. Tied for 9. Steve McNair of the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, 2 quarterbacks on the list.
There was 2. Lawrence Phillips, Antoine Smith, and James Stewart, also with Jacksonville. Tied for 6th. Corey Dillon of the Cincinnati Bengals. He guesses him every time and didn't guess him this time. And Raymond Harris, Chicago Bears legend. Tied for 3rd with Barry Sanders and Cordell Stewart, Marcus Allen of the Kansas City Chiefs with 11. Before we can
Marcus
move on,
Allen in
unfortunately-
97.
97. Yeah.
Damn.
Unfortunately, we're doing this live, and Timmy's taking a piss, so we're gonna have to wait a minute. That's actually the real reason why he left. But as you all know that listen to the show on the regular, we're gonna do receiving. Should I do yards, receptions, or touchdowns for the next category? Let's go receptions.
Let's
I
go
like that.
tutties.
Well, we're gonna go
Nobody
tutties.
gives a shit about receptions.
I think there'll be a lot of repeats on both lists, but
Tutties.
Dave is up. Timmy's
Fuckers.
Did you wash your hands?
What?
We know you wouldn't, Pete.
I've been here throwing shit around.
Throwing
wash
that
your
dick at the
You shouldn't be
toilet.
throwing shit. That's
Throwing that
very
dick in the
unsanitary. Chimp. So we're gonna do receiving touchdowns next, Timmy. Dave, you're back. How many can you guess of the receiving touchdown leaders for 1997?
I think it's Timmy's go.
Timmy just went.
No, I went first.
Oh,
No,
you went. Timmy,
he
you're
just
up. You're
got
up.
5.
Timmy, you're up. How many receiving touchdown leaders can you name for 1997?
1997?
There's a lot of on here.
Yeah.
It'd be a tough one. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time.
3.
3. Dave, can you do more than 3?
No.
All right, Timmy, here you go. You're up.
Fuck.
Damn it. I go, quit aiming so high. I'm going to put 2. I can do 2.
15.
All right. So the only question I'm going to ask, are there running backs and tight ends on this list?
There's 1 tight end.
Okay.
No running backs.
Okay. Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp is not the tight end. Oh, Dave, can you name 1?
No, I doubt it.
1997.
I'm going to yell one after he guesses. Just
Chris Carter.
Chris Carter led the league with 13.
Carl Pickens.
Dave steals the category. Carl Pickens. By the way, one of the rushing touchdown leaders was Corey Dillon. Just so you know.
What about,
It's a guess.
Michael
Not Carl.
Irvin. Was Michael Irvin on there?
Michael Irvin tied for 6th with 9.
Let me see.
Donald Driver.
No.
Seattle.
Why are we still guessing? Dave already won.
I don't
the
know. And you
category.
guys still have not asked me for teams ever.
Joey Galloway.
Tied for second with 12.
In 97?
Yes.
God damn, he was old.
Who's the other Bucks receiver that played for Atlanta before he went to Tampa?
Mike
He was
Evans.
really good. Burt Emanuel.
Tied for 6 with 9.
Look at me fucking go. That's extra points.
Here's the rest of your top 10, all tied for 9th. Chris Galloway of the Giants, your tight end. Ben
Two
Coates
Galloways?
of the New England Patriots. Ed McCaffrey and Herman Moore all had 8.
By the way,
Tied-
Christian's dad, Ed McCaffrey.
Yes, it is. That is Christian's dad. Tied for 6 with Burt Emanuel and Michael Irvin, Derek Alexander of the Baltimore Ravens.
What about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
He's not on here. Tied for 2nd with Joey Galloway, Rod Smith, James Jett, and Antonio Freeman. All
We
had-
talked about Kareem
Rod
Abdul-Jabbar not
Smith
that
was
long
the
ago.
tight end, right?
What was the man? Was the man?
Rod Smith was the tight end, right?
No, it's Ben Coates.
I don't even know who that is.
New England
I
Patriots
don't know who
legend.
Ben Coates is. But we talked about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on here not that long ago.
We did, but it wasn't a story. It was just a.
He
random
was a Laker
conversation,
then,
whatever.
though.
He played for UCLA.
He was
Could have been a
Buck.
Milwaukee Buck. Who knows?
Dave, do you want to try sex?
Sex. Dave's always into one to
You
try sex.
You try sex all the
Two.
time. So we got to hurry up during the shows.
2.
2 sack leaders, Dave, Timmy, can you name more than 2?
97?
97. There's some solid ones on here.
I'll let him go and see if I can top him. That's
Okay.
going to be the.
Dave, name me 2.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, 3rd with 14. Tied for
Reggie
3rd.
White.
10th with 11. Timmy,
got.
name 3.
Fuck.
Not 1.
Yeah, I know. Fuck is not one.
Again, you can ask me.
No.
Teams.
he's
Give me
gotta-
teams.
No, he's got to get one right. Then you can
You gotta
ask for
get one
teams.
right first, and then you can ask
Yeah.
for teams.
Cheating ass whore. Let me ask for. I'll keep going. I'll say 3.
Okay.
Give me a team.
No! Fuck off! Asshole.
Timmy, you need 1, and then I will give you the teams.
No, he's got to get 3. He's got to beat me.
I know, but it's one that I
Oh.
can name the teams.
No, you can only name a team.
A team.
97. Holy shit. Kevin Green.
No. Here's your top 10. 9th of the Baltimore Ravens, Peter Boulware.
Florida State Seminole legend.
All tied for 6th with 12. Chris Dolman of the San Francisco 49ers, Michael Sinclair, and Chuck Smith.
Loved his pineapple.
Dolman. Yes, very good.
Dolman, yes.
5th of the Detroit Lions, Robert Porcher, 12.5.
Porsche.
Tied for 3rd with Bruce Smith, Michael Strahan of the New York Giants. Had
Shit, Strahan. Didn't even think of
2nd
that.
of the San Francisco 49ers, Dana Stubblefield had 15. And your league leader, John Randall with Minnesota, had 15.5.
Oh, John Randall.
How did we miss Michael Strahan? What
And
the?
that
I could have done 3.
And that has been box score trivia. Dave now leads 15-5.
I win.
That's the end of the month.
This is it. Dave won the month again.
Who gives a shit? You know what that means?
Nothing.
It means it's
I'm
my
not-
turn.
It means I'm not ready. You should give me a
Of course, that means it's my turn.
Mm.
Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears.
My neck, my back.
Yep. I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahamas, come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego Bay, baby. All right, here we go. February 1997, right in my wheelhouse. Senior in high school. That was the shit.
I was in
I
5th
was
grade.
Full of shit.
February of 97,
No, I was in 5th grade.
I was getting ready to graduate.
10th grade. Sophomore.
Yeah, well, you're still sophomoric if that makes you feel better.
That's his charm.
That's an upgrade over 12.
True.
Correct.
What?
All right. Song number 1, clue number 1. This is a song written and recorded by American freestyle artist Freak Nasty. It was
The dip. The dip.
Hip.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Put your hand
up in your hip. When I spit, you spit, we spit.
Put my hand up on your hip.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Yo, put mine. So we can get down low and roll and grind.
I just went.
By the
back
way,
to-
here's TJ when it's playing. Dave and I are saying TJ's going.
I was grooving. I don't know the words you guys know. So I was just taken back to 8th grade dance and Glow Bowl. You guys know about Glow Bowl?
I put some dip up in
Global
my
Force
lip.
Wrestling, yeah.
No, Glow Bowl is when you go to a bowling alley and all the kids come and they have all the black lights on and turn all the regular
Yeah.
lights off.
Yeah.
That's I did that song.
I was
played at
poor.
Glow
I
Bowl.
wasn't able to go to that.
Oh my God, so
Your
poor.
childhood was terrible. Like my parents were a factory worker and a mechanic, and they let me go to Glow Bowl.
Truck driver, bartender. We didn't have a bowling alley within 30 minutes. Well, it was probably
I don't want to tell y'all what my parents were.
And my dad was like,
naked.
my mom was like, hey, the TJ
My
wants
mom's
to go
a
to Glow-"
doctor.
That makes sense.
For
And
thugonomics.
Thugonomics.
my mom was like, hey, my TJ wants to go to Glow Bowl, and my dad's like, I'm sorry, did you say the bowling alley? I can drink there.
Well, here's
Go.
the thing. I'm a little bit older, so bowling, while wasn't cool, we went to the roller rink.
I also went to the roller rink.
Yep.
I used to be able to
Roller
skate
rink.
backwards and shit. I was, what?
Oh, I used to be really good at skating.
Now I'd die.
I was
would-
good. I was good at rollerblading. I was terrible on 4-wheel skates.
As
Like,
soon as
oh,
my,
man,
my skates hit
traditional,
the
man.
floor, I would just shatter my hip.
Yeah, now.
I still stand it. I'm like, ah, shit. I don't know how that happened. I broke my hip.
I ripped my bicep in a bar.
Riding a mechanical pole.
True. Your puss.
What did you learn?
I learned that cowboys don't like when their hats get flipped off. Pussy.
Mm,
Hope he's watching.
he's not.
Song number 2, clue number 1. This is a song by American singer named Redacted, released as the debut single from his first album, Name Redacted, The Bachelor.
What? Was this an FBI report? Why is everything redacted?
Clue number 2, because I said the artist last time and y'all went, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," and got it.
No, not y'all. Dave.
And then TJ went, clue number 2, Timbaland revealed during a lecture recorded for online education platform Masterclass, which, by the way, get that if you have the opportunity and aren't poor, that the song was created 9 years prior to its 1996 release.
Regulators.
Mount Up. No, that's not it.
Oh.
97?
No,
That's
it's
like
like
93.
I really enjoy that you keep picking rap, knowing that I'm out. Like there's no chance I'm going to.
Well, rap was what was best in '97.
I need to know. who the
Or
hell's singing.
if you're,
Who's
Mr.
the singer?
Perfect, it would be Rap is Crap.
You could keep doing Eagle Eye Cherry. You could do Matchbox 20. You could
Like,
do Waste.
like 99. That was
You
one
could
of
do
those.
311. You could do
You can
anything.
do Cotton Eye Joe.
Not
Clue number 3, the official music video for the album version of the song, created by Michael Lucero and filmed at the Cowboy Palace Saloon in Chatsworth, California, depicts Genuine and his crew.
Tony.
Saddle soap for his saddle.
That's Janny's jam.
Just got barred in Russia.
Oh, that's terrible.
I don't know that, but I
All right. This last song is not fucking rap, TJ, so I expect you to get it.
Hey,
I'm out.
stop it.
Song number 3, clue number 1. This is a song by American singer-songwriter Sheryl Crow, released as the lead single from her 96.
Bitch.
No, that's not Cheryl Crow.
That's Meredith Brooks, you dumb
Meredith
fuck.
Brooks.
It was
Sheryl
literally on our show for like the first 10 months. That song.
Oh, and when the other one was here.
Yeah. But here's
Soak up the
thing.
sun.
This is the lead single from her 96 Eponymous Hip Hop Anonymous album in September 96. It's incorrect. Please stop doing that.
Gonna soak up the sun.
Clue number 2. The video was shot in color and features Crow in an endangered species section of the National History Museum in Los Angeles County. She is dressed in leopard print fur coat and Yves Saint Laurent leather boots.
Isn't it ironic?
That's Alanis Morissette.
I know.
Clue number
I know
3.
the song, I can't think of the name of it.
Q Magazine placed this song at number 663 on their list of the 1001 best songs ever in 2003.
My boyfriend's got one nut.
That came in 2012.
Oh.
It didn't come in 2000.
Hey, we did. We only half came because there's one nut.
I am too.
Dumb fucks.
I quit. Hit my
You
clip.
Oh, it's time for Dave's Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
We are tied 4-4.
I'm winning.
It all comes down to this. 3 movies this week to ensure there is a winner.
You said one.
There's 3, idiot, but y'all are only going to get
He
one.
said we only gonna get one.
You're wrong.
Movie number A, with a budget of $116 million.
That's a lot.
Our first movie this week grossed more than $178.1 million at the box office.
You lost money. Cool.
This is an American disaster film.
Armageddon.
A volcanologist arrives at a countryside town recently named the second most desirable place to live in America.
Volcano.
And discovers that the long dormant volcano may wake up
Tommy
at
Lee
any
Jones in it.
moment.
No, it's
No.
not that one.
Stars Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton.
Terminator 42.
Well, Andrew Herman just named it in the comments, so I'm not gonna say it.
Dante's Peak.
It was Dante's Peak, yeah. I wouldn't have got it. I've never watched that movie.
I love that movie. All right, here we go. Movie number B. It all comes down to this because there's no way y'all getting movie number C.
Joe
Oh,
and the
I'm gonna
Volcano.
With a budget of 20, it's Joe versus the volcano. Minus 1 point for Timmy C. It's now 4-3. TJ Stevens. Damn it! With a budget of $25 million in 1997. I seen this movie in the theater.
Okay.
Our second movie this week grossed an impressive $36.4 million at the box office.
Happy
Yikes.
Gilmore.
This is an American comedy film.
Billy Madison.
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
After the food preservative that keeps perishable items fresh for years, which he helped make, has been approved, Clark finally earns a sizable cash bonus and decides
Vegas
to take
Vacation.
Vegas Vacation. Timmy C.
So now it's tied.
Yeah.
Again. So we're back to one.
Here we go. Our last movie of the week. With a budget of $20 million. Our third movie this week grossed an astronomical
I don't like it.
$42 million at the box office.
Lost a lot of money.
This is an American romantic comedy film. After a one-night stand with Alex, Isabel realizes that she is pregnant and they decide to get married. However, along with the marriage comes compromise of one's own cultural traditions. It stars Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek.
I can see it. I saw it in the theater. It
I'm out.
has like a Mexican, it's a white background. They're standing together and it's got like a Mexican name. What the hell is the name of that shitty ass movie?
I'm out.
Rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Fools Rush
Rush in.
Mm.
It's sang by that preacher guy. That used to be Elvis. Yeah.
Timmy C wins 5-4.
It's bullshit.
It's not bullshit. I know
It is
way more
bullshit.
about movies.
That's not true. You know more about shitty ones.
Yeah. I'm going to get you, sucker.
Can I get a real?
Well, do you know what was not shitty? WCW Superbrawl 7, which was on February 23rd, 1997.
Can we
We're at
just
the
call
Cow
it a show
Palace.
now?
Huh?
Can we just call it a show now? Because
That's today, February 23rd, 1997.
We're at the Cow
it's
Palace.
not
in San Francisco.
1997.
Not 1997.
I wish it was.
Your announcers, Dusty
nah.
Rhodes, Tony Schiavone, and Bobby the Brain
Think of a
Heenan.
few things I'd do if I were in high school again.
I was 12.
I did a lot in high school. Life was epic.
I'm thinking about going back.
Justin walked in on me banging a girl one time in high school.
Justin, I need this confirmed in the Instagram chat. I'm pretty sure this was the first WCW pay-per-view I watched, was this one, live.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't watch this one live.
We start the show with Roddy Piper coming out of Alcatraz after spending a weekend there. He tells the world that he didn't spend a weekend in hell just to lose. I mean, no one made him do that. He did it on his own.
That shit was just silly. This is why Piper's dumb.
Well, you guys were watching back then. Why was he staying in Alcatraz? That's weird.
I don't know.
And I have a better question. If he's the only one there, why are there so many guards? There's like 12 guards and
He's a
him.
madman. He's a lunatic. We're going to talk about this later, but I'm going to go ahead and preempt this entire show with this. If you're going to do this entire Alcatraz thing with Piper and he still loses the main event, like, what are we doing? What was the point of this?
It's called WCW in 1997.
It's because Piper's stupid.
He didn't get a tan in Alcatraz.
We see some highlights of Six in the NWO stealing the U.S. title from Eddie Guerrero at Starrcade 96.
Highlights of sex.
Then Six stole the Cruiserweight title from Dean Malenko, who was wrestling 270-pound Mike Enos for some weird reason. Weeks later, Eddie got the belt back from Six. Woody, while wrestling Malenko, and that leads us into our first match, match 1. Dean Malenko takes on Six for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Can I have a hot take here?
Yeah.
Do that on this show? Are we allowed to do that?
We're just take on sex.
No. We're just before WrestleMania 13 and Steve Austin will officially be made. But here in early 97, I can't explain to you why, but WCW's pay-per-views felt bigger to me than WWF's did.
Because they had sex on the opening match.
It's Six.
Oh. It's spelled weird.
On the other show, the WWF held In Your House Final Four. It crowned a new champion in The Undertaker because Shawn Michaels never dropped a title in the 90s, lost a smile. Conveniently, just before he was scheduled to drop the title to Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
If I knew I was going to have to wrestle Bret Hart, I'd lose my smile too.
Yeah.
Because you're a clown.
Because he's a clown.
Fuck
you, Bret Hart.
I don't have much to say about this match. It was very good. Malenko might be the best pound-per-pound wrestler ever.
He also might be at lunch with his wife when he's supposed to be signing autographs.
You are still hung up about that. At one point, Dusty said that they were fighting for the Cruiser Heavyweight Championship, whatever that means. Towards the end, Six tries to use the belt, but Eddie comes out and stops him. Six then hits Malenko with the title, gets to win 3 1/4 stars. This got.
I thought the match was good, but at the start, Malenko had Six pinned about 10 seconds into it and picked him up.
What was the point of that?
WCW.
But this was the first time I've seen this
1997.
pay-per-view in years. And I could have sworn Malenko was in the Four Horsemen by now. It wasn't until September of 98 that he joined. I thought he was in there for years.
Well, he was a cruiserweight at this point, so it would have been a 3.5 horsemen.
Well, he went to the Horsemen after I think they bumped out Jarrett, and then Malenko replaced him.
Jarrett was never a horseman.
I mean, I don't argue with you. I'm just saying, theoretically, he was in the Horsemen, and
I think this show, don't they argue about him being a horseman?
I think they do.
He wins his match to become a horseman, but
He's a
does
horseman
officially.
at this point.
Yeah.
I liked the chant 1, 2, 3 sucks by the crowd. That was good.
Well, they hate numbers.
But everyone knew Six was winning this match, but the ending was weird with the belt spot. because Mark Curtis was sitting there looking right at it, and then magically, as soon as Eddie Guerrero swung the belt, he turned his head.
Someone
Like,
say
really,
my name.
yeah. Why would you turn your head when a guy's standing right there with a belt? No, wait, what? Boom. Oh, look, he's knocked out. I wonder what happened.
Hey, oh,
Didn't the referee kill John Lennon? Wasn't
what?
Mark Curtis Chapman? Wasn't that him?
No,
I think so.
I don't. No, Mark
Well-
Curtis Chapman. Yes.
Text to type, lovely. Waltman had the worst of the now instead of NWO music ever. It's terrible.
What's funny is it said NWA, and I tried to change it to NWO, and then it must have just switched to now.
Maybe. Still, it's a dumb move to have a babyface pull the heel off the camp. What? Fucking text to type. I'm so tired of this.
Good job, you.
And all right, Dave, what did you do to this? Because these are not my notes. Okay. By the way, I think Six might be going rollerblading after this match with those pads he's wearing, because they're not like plastic hard knee pads. Well, either that or maybe Sex.
Conan wore the same ones.
Viva La Raza.
Hmm.
And did Dusty just ask about heavenly bodies being thrown around? What's he doing? He's trying to promote WWF.
Or Smoky Mountain.
And they talk about being near 3Com Park at this point. Is there any football team now that still shares a stadium with a baseball team?
No.
I miss that from the 80s where you would see Bo Jackson breaking through the second base line. He's going to go all the way through.
Yeah, I'm sure
the
Oakland
shortstop
Raiders.
position.
I'm sure Oakland Raiders legend Jeff Hostetler misses getting tackled on the peg that second base was supposed to be on.
They were the LA Raiders back then.
I whatever. Shut up. By the way, this show
is terrible. Yes, we know.
No, it's not. It's actually fairly good. They had
It's not.
13,324 in the building, with 12,145 paying for $192,000. Wanted to point that out. Here we go. Match 2. Speaking of Conan, he's up next. Conan, Laparco, and Viano 4 take on Juventud Guerrera, Ciclope, and Super Callo.
Fragilistic expialidocious.
There you go. Here's your change of pace match with some flavor from south of the border. I've always been curious why Super Callo wears a hat and sunglasses in the ring.
Because he's fragilistic expialidocious.
That was the worst mask in wrestling.
Or Max. It was the worst
So
Max,
stupid.
too.
I hated that guy. Always wanted him to lose.
Laparca puts Callo into a chair outside the ring, sitting in it. He's just sitting in a chair. Then Parker goes.
What else are you going to do in it?
Shut up. Then Parker does a dive into Callo. Then Callo gets in the ring and makes the tag.
Maybe he was playing luchador in a chair.
I'm just glad that,
I was thinking he was waiting for his dance.
Later on, Hoovy hits a 450 on the Viano 4 for a 2 count. A lot of spots that take a lot of setup and pretty obvious cooperation.
Are they in AEW?
Yes. They even do the Doomsday device and didn't even pin Juventud Guerrera after they did it. Then there's some weird spot where it's all 6 people tangling legs and holding hands.
What?
Every time. Yes.
Turned into an orgy.
Every time Ciclope got in the ring, he just falls down. Did you guys notice that? He would trip over the rope every time he got in the ring. This match was very close to today's indie style, but
But a hell of a gimmick. I just fall down when I come in.
It's not for me. This match was the shits, honestly. By the way, this match got match of the night on the Observer Reader poll. This was the best match on the card, which is
That checks out, actually. That completely checks out.
Conan hits Hoopy with a razor's edge into a power bomb for the win. 3 3/4 stars.
I absolutely loved these 6-man tag matches that were lucha style rules.
This was garbage.
Dumb.
Loved them.
Trash.
The ending was botched as shit, though.
Yes.
As well as the beginning and the middle. Don't even announce the people in the ring when they're coming out. I'm like, okay, cool. It's a 6-man. I can't believe in 1997 we're still having midget matches on the card, though.
Which one?
And Viano number 42 is like 1,200 years old.
AD.
And Viano's the old man. They say he's number 4. He looks like 74. Just saying.
Well, up next, match 3. Let's get some youth in here. Rey Mysterio Jr.
God damn it!
Takes on Prince Iaukea for the World TV title. Would you guess with these two competitors in the ring that Iaukea was the TV champion?
Yeah, I was there when he won it the week before.
You're a nerd. I understand what they're going for here with Iaukea. They're trying to build a new star despite the stigma. They never did that. Prince had a good look, moved good in the ring. He just had the charisma of an unwrapped craft single. Iaukea is still real green here as he gets lost a lot. And, well, you have a novice kid getting a push and a 20-year-old Mysterio in the match with no veteran presence. This should have been Iaukea and Regal in a rematch. And as we head to the finish, Regal comes out, pulls down Mysterio, who's going for the Hurricane Rana roll-up, throws Rey back in, and Iaukea gets the win. Match had some good moves, but no one gave a shit. 3.25 stars. Shivani with a Freudian slip here of the night as Prince and Rey keep giving each other the TV title. Have we ever had a belt in this sport that no one wants?
Yeah, Regal lost the belt the Monday before on Nitro. I think we need to ask Eric Bischoff what his favorite Prince Iaukea match was. This guy was terrible.
Did he ever like get his heart tore out in the middle of a match? Because that would have been my favorite.
What?
Like in Indiana Jones Temple of Doom?
Like if he died.
I mean, that's a bit extreme, I
A
think.
bit harsh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My bad.
The fans shit all over the end of this match. They did not want to see Iaukea win, and they were not happy.
No.
Well, it could be because I don't know. They mentioned what title they were wrestling for to begin with.
It's a TV title.
Last match,
TV
they
belt.
don't announce the competitors. This match, they don't announce what they're wrestling for. Great. I don't know why they have both these jobbers going against each other on a pay-per-view. That seems odd.
Yes.
I do like Steven Regal, though. That's nice.
I love me some WCW Steven Regal.
And really, you always want to hear the line, have you ever seen a belt nobody wants on your pay-per-view? What? Tony, what are you doing?
Remember 2 years later, they would throw this belt directly in the trash on Nitro.
And then Hacksaw Jim Duggan would find it a couple months later.
Yep, as a janitor.
Oh!
Which also means WCW not only never changed the garbage, but carried it around with them to venue to venue. Now we go backstage with me and Gene Oakland for your reminder to call 1-900-909-9900 as Gene has the scoop of someone having dinner with the NWO. Apparently that's a story. Then we bring in the Giant. Reminder, the Giant was brought into the NWO as one of the original 5 in the fall of 96. And here in February, he's already been kicked out and turned babyface as he will take on the Outsiders alone for the tag titles because Luger is injured, I think.
I almost forgot how luscious the Giant's hair was at this point. Almost as luscious as mine.
More. Way more.
Flick.
Is match 4. DDP takes on Buff Butch. Why? Match 4. Diamond Dallas Page takes on Buff Bagwell of the NWO. For the life of me, I will never figure out how Buff Bagwell never got over. He had
His
everything.
mom shaved his balls.
Well, there's that. But that he should have gotten over because of that. He had clean balls. Another reminder, just 1 month previous to this, DDP hit the Diamond Cutter on Scott Hall and threw Nash out of the ring and became the first WCW guy to get one up on the NWO. And his rise to stardom is underway here. In just 2 more months, he will start the feud of the year with Macho Man Randy Savage. In my opinion, this was the match of the night up to this point. Great storytelling, hard-hitting. Scott Dickinson bumped Buff Bagwell. Plus, I was a giant DDP fan. Partway through the match, Buff could have gone for the pin, but instead he wants the ref to count DDP down for the 10 count, which made no sense. When DDP gets up, Buff goes for a neck breaker, Diamond Cutter out of nowhere, and here comes...
No, that's RKO. I don't know.
No, it's Diamond Cutter.
RKO's
comes
trash.
Randy
Randy Orton
what?
sucks.
It's the same thing.
Here comes
Randy Orton
renowned-
doesn't suck. He does collabs with John Cena.
He does. On OnlyFans,
Boo-doo-doo-doo.
Justin. Here comes renowned NWO members Michael Wall Street and Vincent. And DDP wins by disqualification and disappears into the audience. By the way, the two NWO guys did nothing. 2 3/4 stars.
What are we doing here? DDP was crazy over. The fans were all over this guy. And he can't get a clean pinfall win over Buff Bagwell. What are we doing? Match went way too long. Should have been like 4 minutes. DDP hits the Diamond Cutter, gets the pin, and then the NWO guys run out. He escapes through the crowd. Everybody's happy. Come on.
Smoking a cigar on the way to the ring, probably not the best way to come down to the ring.
Well, he'd be tackled by security now if he did that.
Although we did see Sandman drinking his beer on the way to the ring last week. So,
And smoking a cigarette.
but I feel like if you're trying to build DDP up, Buff should not get much offense as he did in this match. That's no.
Well, WCW did this weird thing back then, like, hey, we can build to both of them.
But to be fair, I feel like the referee should have been the one disqualified in this match because he turned the tide of the match.
It's true. Eric Bischoff had a legitimate gripe if he really wanted to. Up next is Keith Phillips as he won a PlayStation giveaway, and he just screamed into the camera. I'm glad this
That was a
here.
lot back then.
I'm glad this was a part of the show. I'm glad we did this.
Tim couldn't afford a PlayStation.
I have one now. I'll fire it up. Match 5. Eddie Guerrero takes on Chris Jericho for the U.S. title. This should be a great match, but we have Singlet Eddie and Babyface Jericho. So their more entertaining selves haven't come out yet. But it was a good match, but it felt like it just never came out of second gear. Eddie wins with a roll-up, 3 1/4 stars.
Is Jericho's character now really more entertaining?
No, I meant when Jericho turns heel here. In
Less lecherous is how
Young face Jericho was dull.
the shits.
Dude could go in the ring, but he was so generic. When he first came out and wrestled Alex Wright in like his first WCW match, my little brother and I were like, this guy sucks. Same could be said with Eddie. Good in the ring, but God, they were just so plain.
Give him a card. Give him a low.
Their heel turns were fantastic and showed you how great they could be. The crowd didn't give two shits about this match.
Nope.
Didn't care at all. Say what you want about Hogan and the NWO. During their matches, the crowd was going nuts. This shit, nothing. Jericho should have turned heel after losing this match and kicked Eddie right in the wiener.
It's chorizo. He's Mexican.
Sausage.
Actually,
You know-
that, though.
The narrative that Jericho always tried to spin was that WCW held the cruiserweights down. Looks like they're in a pretty good sized match here for the second title in the company.
True.
Jericho tearing it up here with Eddie makes me happy and sad. Because
Why?
Eddie died and wasn't terrible, and Chris Jericho apparently not the greatest person. My ex-wife
Allegedly.
told me.
He does some pretty half-ass cruises also.
That
Were you
was
on the cruise.
We'll come back to that.
When? When are we coming back to that?
We're not coming back to that.
Damn it.
I made all that up. I'm sorry.
Up next, Angels picks from the Jericho. oh, shit. I said it.
Why does that wiener have a Canadian flag on it?
God, he gets tattoos of stupid voices. Looks like Patrick Waugh. Why does it look like Patrick Waugh?
Judas in my what?
So, match 6. The faces of fear. Here's our main point here. Can somebody that knows what they're doing take over a cruise? We'd go on it. Match 6. The Faces of Fear take on the Public Enemy and Harlem Heat in one of these terrible WCW triple threat matches. I specify because in these matches, you can tag in anybody but your partner. So the Psychotic tag match, out the window. So why would you tag out ever? Shivani also says that this match is no longer for the number 1 contender spot for the tag titles, after the Steiners were run off the road by the Outsiders. Terrible rules and no stakes. I can't wait. This match was much better than it had any business being, but of the three teams, not sure I would have picked Public Enemy, but that's who won. 1.5 stars.
Yo, baby, yo.
That's PN
No.
News.
That's PN News.
Same thing. Same
That's
thing.
it.
Like it's their uncle.
What was the point of this match? Public Enemy didn't get a title shot afterwards.
They
We're just
did
going to
not.
throw random 3 teams in and have a match. Harlem Heat's top 5 tag team of all time. They didn't even go over in this. This is bullshit. I did learn, though, that the Faces of Fear live in trees, according to Bobby Heenan.
Mhm.
That's a little fun fact. I would have thought WCW would have paid them more.
You would have thought. Maybe that's what they preferred.
Weird. Are all 3 of these teams heel teams?
I think Public Enemy were babyface.
Public Enemy were faces.
That's terrible. Harlem Heat is by far the most impressive team in here in the early going, and there's no way that these dumbass idiots should have won that match.
Harlem Heat doesn't get enough love for being a great tag team.
So literally in this match, you have Harlem Heat, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. You're in San Francisco, right? The former stomping grounds of High Chief Peter Maivia, and you've got Megan Barbarian in one corner. And you're like, hey, we're the 2 fat white dudes that wear hockey jerseys. Y'all are going over tonight. Why? Match 7. Speaking of why,
Let's ask
Jeff-
Kevin Sullivan on Taskmaster
we
Talk.
absolutely need to. Jeff Jarrett takes on your newest NFL Hall of Famer, Steve Mongo McMichael, in a grudge match. Again, this match was better than it had any business being. Jarrett's experience against the strength and intensity of Mongo is your story. Mongo gets the upper hand, and Deborah gets the briefcase. Deborah turns on Mongo. At least it looked like it, but at the end, they act like she didn't.
Well, she was kind of turned on him at the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
this was her crisis of faith. Should I go with the NFL Hall of Famer or the ass hat with a fake guitar?
It's a hard choice. But she tosses the briefcase to Jarrett, and Jarrett gets the win. After the match, Deborah is still by the side of Mongo. I don't get it. 1 3/4 stars.
This is another one of those matches no one cares about. Jarrett was never a horseman. I don't give a shit what anybody says, even if Flair says he was. He was not. What would
Correct.
Flair know? How would you know Flair? Oh, wait. I got to wondering how much WCW paid Mongo McMichael for his run here. So I found it on the website bethebooker.net, and it shows that for 1997, Mongo was paid $270,408.52. Now, here's the kicker. Only Sting, Hogan, Hall and Nash, Piper Flair, the Steiners, Lex Luger, Randy Savage, Kevin Green, and Jerry Sags made more money than Mongo McMichael.
I'm sorry, who?
Jerry Sags?
Who's that last one?
Jerry Sags.
Holy shit.
Oh, Timmy Sag.
Mongo McMichael made more money than Arn Anderson.
Oh,
Made more
Well,
money than Chris
Mongo
Benoit.
should have. Mongo should have. Jerry Sags should not have. Everyone knew who Mongo was. They're like, the other nasty boy? Ugh. Terrible. It's great to see Mongo here, but not as great as it is to see Deborah. Puppies.
She's
It's a good thing there's an angle in this match because the wrestling ain't great. So I guess bringing Deborah in, hitting people. Okay. Oh, I'm in.
Timmy, I'm going to give you an emergency situation bonus point on box score trivia. If you can get within 50,000 people of the buy rate of Superbrawl 7, go.
97 is probably pretty big. I'm going to say 1.73 million.
For a fucking buy rate?
200,000.
It was 275. What are you doing? Their highest pay-per-view ever was 700,000. That was Starrcade 97.
They should have been better. I
2.9
don't know.
trillion.
The entire Midwest. Everyone.
82 gajillion.
God. Match 8.
11-4.
Benoit versus Kevin Sullivan in a San Francisco death match. I have no idea what this is, but I bet it's going to be the most brutal fight of the night. If they had done the Dungeon of Doom with this this version of Kevin Sullivan and not fill it with cartoon characters, we might have had something. Woman and Jackie are going to be strapped together for this match, and out of the gate, we have 2 brawls break out. I enjoyed this match, and the announcers did a good job of helping it make it entertaining. They fight all over the arena, and the match ends when Benoit jumps on Jackie and Sullivan on a table that didn't break, by the way.
Yeah.
It was brutal. After the match, everyone's injured, which brings out Paul Orndorff and a slew of other agents. 3.5 stars.
You know, this match was pretty fun the first 17 times I saw it.
You said 7.
At this point, I'm growing tiresome of it. They need to move on. They had this feud going for well over a year. Every pay-per-view, these two did this match. Who gives
Guess
a
what?
shit?
They were doing it backstage too. I can't believe all the shit that goes into this.
Hey, quit fucking my wife.
Something about Dusty saying she kicked him in the thing. What thing, Dusty? What did she kick him in?
His penis.
The dick. WCW, who is terrible at gimmicking tables, apparently.
I don't think they were trying to. I don't think they knew they were supposed to.
They had a table that should have been the table that went through, but it looked like they fashioned supports on the side of it. They're like, no, we don't want it to break that easily, so we're just gonna put some stints in here and call it a day. In retrospect, maybe not the best idea to have these people act so hurt, because they were. They weren't acting.
Only at an angle. This was legit.
Yeah, they were. Let's see. Woman was fucking Chris Benoit, and then that was a real table that they went through.
Which, by the way, if Kevin Sullivan was banging Jackie, good on him.
He was not.
Oh, that's sad.
They must be killing time though, because it took forever to get through this match.
Yeah, I fast forwarded after that stupid bump and all the ambulance. I was like, okay, let's get on with the show here.
Well, here's what was on the rest of the show. Match 9. The Outsiders defend the WCW Tag Team titles against the Giant. All night we've been touting this handicap match for the tag titles. And honestly, with the Giant, I don't hate it. This match is how they should have showcased the Giant, overcoming the odds, showing his strength. Then Nash hits a power bomb on the Giant. Here comes Luger with a cast on as he gets the tag and just uses the cast as a weapon, and the ref couldn't give less of a shit. Giant is no longer selling the power bomb, which is cool. Luger gets the rack on Nash. We have new tag team champions. I hated the finish. 3.5 stars.
I guess this was just a feel-good moment for the crowd since the titles were returned to Hall and Nash the very next night, since Luger was not medically cleared for the match. They even tried to say Luger got the submission, and then Giant got the pin, but somehow it's still magically dumb.
They did.
A lot of WCW in 1997 was magically dumb.
They mentioned
that would be like
WCW. They mentioned it during the show.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Shivani said the Giants pinning him so they can't go back on it tomorrow, and they did it anyway.
Yeah. Six completely whiffed on his kick to the Giant, and it was so bad that the announcers even had to say he missed, but the Giant sold it. It was great. When he was hanging outside the ring and Six did his little spin kick, completely went right over his head.
Good.
That power bomb was awesome.
It was good.
Yes. I would have loved to see that as the ending of the match, though. I think Hall and Nash should have gone over. That should have been the ending, and then you don't have any of this bullshit switching the title back. Hall and Nash should have gone over, and then later they could have done a swerve job. But since Luger wasn't there, Hall and Nash should have gone over the Giant.
Do you guys remember how this angle ends, this story?
Giant kills Luger.
They have the Outsiders.
And then Luger kills Miss Elizabeth.
They defend the titles at, I can't remember if it was Spring Stampede or Uncensored.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
It's I'm not listening to you. So it's
Dave got it.
The Giant and Sting against the Outsiders, and the Giant turned on Sting.
But that was the next year.
Was it?
Yeah, that was in 98.
Huh.
I thought they did an excellent job of establishing the Giant here because he was still young, had luscious hair.
He looked good. I mean, he looked good at the match.
He was skinny. He hadn't gotten fat yet. It was nice.
Yeah.
And then
Skinny
the
Giant was
NWO
awesome.
takes over. Great. Here we go. Unbelievable how the end of this match was set up to get Nash over by doing a power bomb on the Giant. God, politics here was terrible. And then Luger comes out, and I'm not sure about any of it. Nope. I hated WCW in 1997 to like the end.
Oh, the next main event of the next pay-per-view was NWO against Team Piper against Team WCW.
That sounds terrible.
I hated that angle. That was terrible. Especially because one of the members of
We're
Team
watching
Piper,
it next week.
Good. Can't wait. Main event. Hollywood Hogan defends the WCW title against Roddy Piper. Listen. Roddy Piper should have won the title here, period.
Incorrect.
End of discussion.
Incorrect.
You're wrong. I thought this was a huge fumble because the crowd
He couldn't
was
sell out a bingo hall.
He had,
B16.
the crowd was behind Piper, and we were starting to see Hogan fatigue part 2. Out of the gate, we have interference from Wall Street and Vincent again. Sting and Savage come out. Sting walks back, but Savage comes to the ring. Piper gets the sleeper on. Hulk passes out. Piper gets the win, or so we think, as Savage pulled Hogan's feet under the rope and then gives him brass knucks. The match restarts. Hogan lands one punch and gets the win. Holy shit, this finish was terrible. 1.25 stars.
You only need one punch to beat that skinny little dude.
But Piper already won.
No, his feet were under the ropes. I seen
Only
it.
because of Randy Savage.
Once again, Hogan and Savage show that they are the two true icons in wrestling, and that Piper's hella overrated.
You're hella overrated.
I hate you.
I stay away from dirt sheets when it comes to spoilers for pay-per-views and stuff like this today and back in the day.
Yes.
When Savage turned heel, I had no idea. Loved it. I don't want to see spoilers. People are stupid. If you like spoilers, you're an idiot.
It's true. He's not wrong.
I loved this show. This show was great. There were some stupid spots, but this was a great show. WCW was red hot here. The fact that within 3 years, they were completely done is crazy. 4 years, they were out of business. But by
you could
2000,
see shades
they were
of it happening
dog
here,
shit.
though. You could see shades of it starting to happen. So this is the main event of a pay-per-view in 1997.
And they'd already had Age in the Cage.
And
They did it again at Halloween Havoc this year.
Yep.
Age in the Cage again for no title.
Gross.
By the way, Piper 3-0 against Hogan in WCW.
No, he lost this one.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. I see.
He didn't, though.
Imagine 1988 Hulk Hogan coming out with the $1 Million Man and Virgil. How
Except
would
it was
that have gone
IRS.
over?
It was IRS and Vincent.
No, it was the $1 Million Man.
Michael Wall Street came out.
No, it was the $1 Million Man.
It was $1 Million Man.
I don't believe either of you.
Okay. And just judging by this crowd, Hulk Hogan's a heel, right? Because they're booing him, but they're cheering him. It's weird. I still say Hulk Hogan in 1997 was the fittest Hulk because some bitch was trim.
We lost Dave.
Dave's dead. That's terrible.
Good.
Still had a thermos though, by the way. Piper
Dave?
looks to be in good shape here too. He hadn't died yet. And when I say these guys are in good shape, I mean for 45-year-old dudes, like slightly better than me.
Piper was ripped, but you could also tell he was in his mid-40s.
Yeah, that's kind of what I look like when I take my shirt off.
I don't believe
Like,
that.
oh, it's ripped, but
I saw you on
what
the Jericho Cruise last
what a
year.
belly. Yeah.
I missed the six-pack part.
And there is no way that Piper winning this stands. That's bullshit.
Well, you know what it is going to stand? This week's episode. And if you enjoyed it,
Me
please
after
let us know.
Viagra.
You take Viagra? Nothing? By the way, did you notice like an hour and a half ago I changed your name?
Nope. Bruner.
Give us that 5-star review wherever you get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram. at
Turn your
Filter Free
shit on,
Podcast.
Dave.
I lost my earbuds. I couldn't hear.
And follow our network.
Were they in your beard?
No, they disconnected for some reason.
Follow our network at FilterFreeNet on Twitter. Also, www.patreon.com/filterfree on YouTube, as well as Premier Streaming Network. As for us, you can find us on our social media platforms at Dollar Bill Dave.
Follow me on X at Dave in the HSV.
Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979.
And I am at T Stevens 91. Next week, we're going to cover CWA, which was on March 7th, 1987. Some
What is
good
that?
old Memphis.
The hell is that?
Memphis wrestling. Jerry the King Lawler.
I'm in.
Mike Tyson wins again. A-Team says goodbye. It's championship season in college basketball and so much more. This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. What do an apple and half an orange have in common?
I don't know.
Neither can drive a car.
What?
What?